Hello, welcome to our refocus series. So this is Andrea and Michelle, and we're back with our last video for you guys. Yep, one more, we're almost there. So I want to share with you guys my experience of next steps once I graduated university or when I was in that fourth year trying to figure out what to do next. So of course, you're finishing up and everyone asks you the question, what are you doing next year? And for me, I was considering, okay, should I do a master's program? Should I go to college, get some more focused skills? Or should I just begin job hunting? I was open to a lot of different things, but I wasn't really sure what to do. But I had an opportunity to go to a net commissioning mass. It was September of my fourth year of university, and a bunch of friends were gonna go to support other friends that were gonna be serving as net missionaries. So I thought, why not? A fun day trip to Ottawa, let's go hang out, let's support some people.
Kingston is so close, so yeah, like nice trip, fun trip.
It was perfect, it worked out. So we're going and we go to this beautiful cathedral that's there. And I am just struck by the beauty of everything. The cathedral, the singing, the missionaries. These are people who are 18 at youngest, who have decided to give a year of their life to serve as missionaries anywhere in Canada. They're sent anywhere.
Wow.
And I was just struck, absolutely struck by the beauty. And this little clear voice from God comes and says, what if you did that? And I laughed internally. I laughed. I was like, you've got to be kidding me, God. Like, no, what do you mean? But we finished the commissioning mass. We get to celebrate with one another. And I couldn't shake that feeling. I couldn't shake that feeling that I was supposed to apply to this. So I continue my fourth year. I do the application, everything. It was actually my convocation day. I get the call that I've got an interview.
No way.
Yeah,
wow.
It was the same day.
Wow.
And then a few months later, they call me back saying, you've been accepted. So that's what I did right out of university. I had just heard about NET. I just figured out about this, but this was my next step. This was the next step that God was calling me to. Yeah, so we want to share with you guys some next steps, advice and tips from our experience so that you guys can be more equipped and ready to go off into whatever God's calling you next.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Michelle. I totally get that feeling of laughing when the Lord tells you to do something you're not expecting, because I definitely have done that, but it's always to His glory and for our good. Yeah. So the first thing we want to share is, hey, we're into summer. We're filming this a little later than what we'd like, but life happens, but maybe this is the time for you guys to hear it. So we're pretty much a few weeks, or almost a month actually, into your summer break from studies. How can you keep up your relationship with God? Well, there's two things we would recommend. One is going to Mass and prayer. It sounds super obvious, but hear me out. I know that things are opening up. Maybe you're wanting to travel this summer. And when we make plans and we go on vacation, we always have this or I do at least, this elaborate list of things I want to do. And I make sure I create an itinerary so that I can do everything that I want to do. But if we're willing to go the extra mile and make all those plans, figure out tickets, figure out what we want to buy, why not do the same thing for Mass? Right? I think a lot of people fall into the trap of, oh, it's vacation, I don't need to go to Mass, it's fine. But we believe as Catholics that the Eucharist is the source and summit of our faith. So we should be prioritizing it above all else. So if you're willing to go the extra mile for your vacation, go the extra mile and find your Sunday Mass, right? A lot of the websites of dioceses, including our own, list where you can find a parish in your area. So before you leave, build that into your plans. Make the time to go. And if you're afraid to ask your friends, to go to Mass because they're maybe not wanting to go or it's not something that they would think to do, we challenge you to ask the Holy Spirit to give you the courage to go to Mass anyway, to ask them, give them that invitation. Hey, I noticed on Sunday at, 11 o'clock, there's Sunday Mass at this church. It is only a few minutes away. I would like to go. Would you want to come with me? Make that challenge. Maybe this is the time for you to evangelize and bring people to Christ. So there's that. Go to Mass. Please go to Mass. This second thing that we want to recommend is keeping up your prayer life, right? It's easy in the summer to be oh, I'm just going to stay up late till 4 a.m., watch Netflix, play video games, go on TikTok, insert thing here. But this is a time for you to deepen even more your relationship with God without the distraction of school, right? Keep up, if you've set a routine for prayer, keep that up. This is again, that time for you to deepen that relationship. And we know, those first 2 weeks of school when you're kind of just struggling because you haven't been sleeping well, because your body is still in summer mode. Why not keep up your prayer life through the summer? Keep to the routine that you've set so that when you go back to school, that's one less thing you'll have to adjust. So yeah, keep up a routine for prayer. If you've set one for the school year, transition that into the summer. Don't just drop it, but keep it up and adjust as you see fit.
Yeah. So now we want to speak to the graduates. Firstly, congratulations. Oh my gosh. This is something worth celebrating and rejoicing with people that you love. This is such a beautiful time and you've made such an incredible accomplishment. So celebrate in whatever looks right to you. If that's a dinner with family and friends, if that's a little vacation, enjoy this moment, savor it, and yeah, just appreciate this accomplishment that you've made. Another piece of advice we want to give is get involved in your parish community.
Yes.
As you kind of transitioned from maybe like your chaplaincy community and those kind of friendships and fellowship, transition to your parish. Get to know the people in your parish and build that kind of Catholic community. And also get involved in other young adult opportunities throughout the Archdiocese. So there's Spiritus, which they have monthly events, socials, catechesis, all these different beautiful events with other young adults in the Archdiocese of Toronto. There's also Theology on Tap, which is a fun, pretty relaxed way of just connecting with other young Catholics, but also like engaging in your faith and learning. So keep involved in your parish. Also, we understand that this could be an uncertain time. Maybe you're not quite sure what you're doing next year. Maybe you're not quite sure what job, whether this program is going to work out and things like that. Peace be with you. Draw close to God, draw close to Him in this time of uncertainty, and draw close to the sacraments as well. And then finally, we really want to encourage staying invested, staying in service of other people. We were talking about how when we're in that moment of like discernment and you're trying to figure out what does God want me to do? What is my next step? It's easy to get stuck in your own head and easy to say, I have to figure this out, I have to figure this out. But that's paralyzing. It's paralyzing when you're just trying to sort out all this nitty-gritty details. Rather, the advice that I've heard is just serve, love others, do what you're passionate about, and in that act of loving and serving, your vocation will come from there. Your next steps will come from there.
Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, try all these tips for all the graduates, for anyone who is taking, of course, the next steps.
And we go back to all of you coming back to school now. So there's two things that could be areas of growth. One is always communal and individual. So for communal, get back in touch with the chaplaincy. I hope that you've had a really good experience this past year, or if you're just coming into university, we hope and pray that chaplaincy can be a really great opportunity for you to grow with other people. There's always the small groups or faith studies, which for myself, and I think for Michelle too, when we've led them, like we've seen just how our students have grown, how they've challenged each other to deepen their relationship with God through their experiences, and even challenged me. Like I'm constantly humbled by the insights that the students have shared with me about where they're at in their faith journey. So get involved with a faith study or a small group so you can experience that very great experience. And another thing is, we ask you guys to consider serving your chaplaincy, right? By this point, I think most student executive teams will already be formed, but the leadership doesn't just fall on them. There's always other things that the chaplaincy needs, be it faith study leaders or, we have an in-person event and I need someone to set up. There are always needs to be fulfilled, and we ask that you guys pray about like what are your gifts and talents, and speak with your campus minister to see how you can help serve the community. So that's the communal piece, chaplaincy. But individually, there's things you can do as well. So I think this is a practice that came from UTM that I've heard of. They challenged like some of their students to think of a specific attainable and tangible spiritual goal to grow in through the year. So if you want like examples, it could be, I want to do a holy hour in front of the Blessed Sacrament once a week, or I want to go to confession like every other week, or I want to read this gospel. Whatever that goal is, like see where you want to grow in your faith and in your relationship with Jesus, and then take that step, make that commitment, and find an accountability partner, be it your campus minister or another student leader that you can check in with to help you grow in your faith and your relationship with God.
Yeah, thank you for the advice, Andrea. Yeah. So we hope all of these advice and guidance can help you and really help you grow over the summer and beyond. And we really want to show our appreciation to you guys for supporting us throughout this year, for watching and staying tuned. And thank you for this opportunity to journey with you. So thank you guys, and God bless.
Bye.